So we're at AtlasCamp, meeting Kantega, Eirik and Lars, and they want to give us a short demo of their SSO plugin now.
Can you tell us a little bit? It's a marketplace plugin, obviously, right?
It's a marketplace plugin. We've been in the marketplace for 2 or 3 years. Initially, it started as an internal solution that we made for our own instances of JIRA and Confluence. We were tired of typing usernames and passwords all over the place, and we kind of figured there must be some better way to do this.
I've learned that there's something better than typing passwords.
Yes, in life there are many things you can do in life that are better than.
But there's
passwords.
also like 1Password and tools that help me remember my passwords. But it's still for what we see a lot with, especially like very big companies.
Yeah.
Is that in this 10 or 15,000 user company, they simply can't remember the password.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, no matter how easy it was, they just
and
create a lot
also
of...
I think from a security point of view, we get a lot of feedback from security teams, and they say that they like to reduce the number of places that people expose their usernames and passwords.
Yeah.
So it improves the password culture of your company.
Yeah.
Making the browser save the password is another good idea in a big company.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so what's the name of the plugins that we're talking about?
Yeah, so it's in the marketplace there is one plugin for each product, but it's called the Kerberos Authentication plugin for JIRA, Confluence, Bitbucket, Bamboo, and Fisheye Crucible.
Okay.
Did I forget something?
No,
Maybe
yeah,
HipChat?
that should be
We don't have support for HipChat
Currently.
for technical reasons.
But you're planning?
We're looking into it, but...
So they have the encapsulated virtual machine for HipChat server, and that's
it's not
why
the
we
same.
cannot-
It's a very different technical...
We've had like tremendous amount of trouble with this new setting. That is, however.
Yeah.
I can imagine that's difficult for you.
I can see that in the cloud it would be hard to implement, but certainly not impossible.
Yeah.
So maybe in the future.
So that's the one thing that our plugin does. It's removing a feature that exists in the products. So that's typing username and passwords, and we remove this feature. So the end user doesn't really see anything. Ideally, they should not know that our product is there. It just removes the hassle of typing usernames and passwords.
So I just go to JIRA and boom, I'm myself because I'm using my computer.
Yeah.
You never even see the password dialog. You are directly logged into JIRA.
Yeah.
So basically, and you may be able to show us. So I'm logging into my Windows computer, for example, on in my office.
Yeah.
And then I pull up a browser and say, give me JIRA or give me Confluence or give me Bamboo, and then I will automatically be logged in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or perhaps you get an email and you click on the link. And
Do I need crowd for that?
No.
No. Okay. So this can be without crowd. I
Yeah.
only need the Active Directory
So
with the user credentials and.
Yeah.
Actually, we don't even care where users are located. So in terms, we actually support crowd.
Okay.
So we only match the username versus the. We get a ticket from Active
We will
Directory.
perform a lookup. We
Are
find
you
user-
then, like, from a business perspective, are you the competitor of services like one login in the cloud for my behind the server installation? Is that similar? Or do you know one login?
We have
No,
thought about
for-
it, but I don't think it's a competitor in that sort.
Yeah, they're not behind the firewall. as
I
far
don't
as
think
know.
that Kantega has lost any customers to LastPass or one login, and I don't think they have lost any sales to us.
Yeah, okay.
So in that case, we're
Yeah,
not
we're pretty
completely-
excited. I've seen a lot of our customers adopt your solution,
Yeah.
and obviously I have to admit I don't know too much about it, so I'm very excited to find out.
So let's say the first pain that we relieve is the end user pain. But the second and perhaps a more important part of our product's user interface is the pain that administrators go through trying to set up a single sign-on solution.
Yeah.
So traditionally this has been a very manual process where you have to edit a lot of files and you have to configure your Java JVM, you have to edit your installation of JIRA or Confluence, and that turns into a maintenance nightmare. So what we have done is to create kind of a guided configuration where you're guided through a process of installing our plugin, configuring it, and configuring your Active Directory
Yeah,
this environment.
The best to sum that up, that part is, when we met today over lunch, I told you there were some customers who said, "Oh, this is so expensive," and then like both of those guys told me, "Yeah, maybe true, but it's like this. Like normally you have a lot of hassle trying to get it running, and we're just like kind of support-free plugin." And yeah, let's see. Show us.
Yeah, this is a first-time installation of JIRA. So I'm just soon to be finished here. So what I'm doing now is doing the first time setup of JIRA. It wanted me to create a test project.
I think we should start from the UPM and the configure part.
So now we have an empty JIRA. Let's use example com. What customers do is they head on to add-ons, and they find new add-ons. And then they have our plugin. They press free trial. So compared to other vendors, you don't have downtime on your production server.
Yeah.
So this is installed and configured without downtime.
Yeah, okay, just like a normal plugin, and you
Yeah.
don't have to go on the back end and so on. Can you give us some background information about Kerberos as a protocol?
Yeah.
So what is that? Like, is that a Windows only thing, or?
Yeah, so Kerberos is actually developed by, I think, MIT, and it's a white code security protocol. It's a security protocol for secure authentication and message verification in a network where you have a trusted third party. So Microsoft uses this technology as their preferred security mechanism in Windows. And it's Kerberos and Kerberos compliant, but it's kind of hidden. It's not very explicit in Windows that you're using it.
It was actually built to replace NTLM in 2000, I think. So, but still we have NTLM.
Okay.
Yeah. But so it's a three-party trust relationship between the service, which is JIRA or Confluence or Bitbucket, and kind of our plugin, and then it's the end user, the client that is logging into his workstation, and then it's the Active Directory server. So Active Directory kind of knows everybody's passwords and can use that information to issue keys to end users and to services.
Okay, cool.
So we have installed the plugin, are ready to configure our plugin.
And it's also, I thought you just obtained a evaluation license from the marketplace, so I can try it for free, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can generate a free license, valid for 30 days. So what we have to do first is create a separate account in Active Directory to hold this service principal name. What we'll do is use this tool to generate the most difficult part, and that's generating this line here. What we'll do is enter the host name of the server, which represents the server you accesses.
Yeah.
And the domain part, written in uppercase, and also a user to map this account for. For this test, we use the RC4 encryption algorithm, which is not preferred, but well enough for this test. And now we have this command produced. This command is to be copied and run on an Active Directory domain controller.
So this kind of command has
Okay, I have to be that deep into Active Directories and administration to understand that, because I've never seen it. But I assume this Active Directory is running on a Windows server, and on this Windows server I can open up
it could run on
terminal.
any server you want.
Yeah, okay.
It's Linux and Windows.
And on the console, you'll just.
And if you are a JIRA system admin, you might have access to do this yourself, or you might have to go through your Active Directory team to get this command run.
And is it like a? Can you show the command again? Is it like a dangerous one?
Show it right after. The reason why I just specified that you want a separate account is not only best practices, but something we recommend to all our
We don't want to break existing Kerberos services, so we recommend that you create a new account and set a password on that, and that is the account that holds.
Hold on, let me look at this with my limited.
This is a command
knowledge.
We produce this file. We map it to a user with this username in this domain, and the principle is a combination of the protocol, regardless of HTTPS, it's always HTTP, and the server name at domain. And these two must not be confused, because example.local is the domain part.
I understood that.
And this is the server address.
I think the point here is that this command is it's easy to get something wrong.
It doesn't,
And we have, through analyzing our support cases, we go through our support cases regularly to identify things that we can do to help prevent users from getting stuck and doing wrong commands. So this helper tool is...
but it doesn't look very dangerous, right? So if I'm an Active Directory administrator, I won't be shy to...
or at least if you're known with Kerberos, this is a perfectly safe command to run.
It sets the password on the account, and it sets two attributes on the accounts to make it... so that clients can find the service ticket for it.
So what we'll do, we head back to Active Directory. For this test, we create this user in special users. We don't want to mix it with normal users. We call it issues. SSO. Issues. SSO.
And we give the password. And then there's a couple of things that we need to set on the account, which is user cannot change password and password never expires. If the password expires, your service will stop working.
So then we have the issues SSO user, password never expires. We head on to a command prompt, which is elevated. Then we paste this command.
Then we debug.
Do we have the right username issues in JIRA?
No, of course. What we will do is...
you can copy paste the command.
So, a typical beginner's mistake.
Yeah, it's fine. It's gonna be a perfect onboarding video later. That shows
I think so.
So there's a new command.
Probably after recording this video, Inga and I will start our career as SSO consultants.
We're giving you all the secrets.
Doesn't seem complicated.
Okay, so you start the command prompt as an administrator. You have to be a domain admin, right, Lars?
Yeah, a domain admin or above. We paste the command and enter the password for this user. Now we have the issues SSO keytab file created. And this file has to be uploaded through our plugin. This can be done from the domain controller or from the client itself. So we choose browse here. Active directory.example.local.
So you can either upload the file or you can point to a file existing on the server if you want to transfer it through a more secure. Example, you're missing the.
So there we have this file. It's created 1 minute ago.
Yeah.
Press upload. And now this plugin takes us to a debug page. Now we see that this user does not have a login permissions to JIRA. Then we go to adding a user directory. We add a standard Microsoft Active Directory user directory. ad.xm.
I think usually
It's a difficult word.
Yeah. Usually people will have set up their user directories before they start using our plugin.
Yeah.
If you have 10,000
But we
users,
have the comprehensive demonstration now.
Yeah.
You didn't know when we went down, right, that you'd create your documentation on video.
So you have a detailed documentation on the marketplace
we
or
have,
somewhere?
a link to our documentation page in the marketplace.
Okay.
And we're working on improved documentation with some videos and screenshots and more getting started. We are also constantly improving our plugin to kind of reduce the need for documentation, because not all users read documentation. They kind of they like to try
That was my
to,
question about
especially sysadmins. They kind of see it sometimes as a failure if they have to.
They may not be
refer
able to read.
documentation. Yeah,
But you can stay in couch potato mode. We'll walk through this. Here.
So what we see now is that once we have configured the user directory, the configuration says that the plugin says that my user can log into JIRA. Further, we have this test page we visited before.
This kind of walks you through the most common mistakes that people can do in configuration. And
it's a deflecting thing for you to get less support, so I know what's wrong.
We decode the incoming token, and we can compare that to the keys in your key tab. And if there's any mismatch, we can kind of give you a little hint. Here's something wrong. Here's how to fix it.
So what I have to do now is give this user access permissions. So there you see, this user in this domain with this email address can log into JIRA. I can demonstrate this by pressing logout, closing the browsers, opening, for example, Internet Explorer.
Does it work with all browsers, or do I have to have specific browsers?
It works in Internet Explorer and Edge, and in Chrome and Firefox.
Okay.
So that's the browsers that have
So what could be on Windows? I could have Opera or Viva.
Every browser that supports Espanego, we support.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
but what I understand is, as soon as I have a Mac, that won't work.
No, it works.
It works.
So your Mac supports Kerberos. You can configure your Mac to be part of the Active Directory domain.
Okay,
and that way you type the same username and password, and it works just as on Windows. If you're not part of the domain, you can use the terminal tool, and also there's a UI tool in Mac, in OS X, to initiate or to acquire a client token.
Yeah, okay. And, do you turn down the login screen, or what happens if I pull up this page, for example, with Opera or something?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, because
we have Opera.
We don't know. We have to support clients that are not Kerberos enabled.
Yeah.
So that could be because they're not a member of the domain, but still are users. Maybe they are kind of external extranet users, and we have to let them continue logging in using manually. Yeah. So what we do is for certain browsers, we just disable. So for Opera, which until recently does not have Kerberos support, we just disable
So I log in like yesterday.
normally, yeah. And if you're like whenever we initiate a Kerberos authentication, so we send a header to the browser saying we want to authenticate using Kerberos. We also send the normal username password page. So if the browser can't log in for some reason, you will always get the login page. So you can log in manually. And another thing is that you can also, if you want to log in as a different user than the user that you are logged into on your client, you can just log out and then you will get the manual login form. You can log in as perhaps an internal admin user.
Okay.
Not all SSO vendors support logging out. So this is the JIRA instance with SSO, with Opera, presenting the normal login page.
Yeah, sorry.
So closing Internet Explorer, opening it again. Then you're logged in directly.
Awesome.
We could have added a picture or something.
Yeah.
That would be the like.
Same person.
Yeah.
Much happier.
Okay, and I would do the same for Confluence now and for JIRA, and maybe one day when AtlasCamp allows us to do a real installer on HipChat. But this is not a cloud solution yet. This is for all the servers.
This is server only.
Yeah. Okay.
So far. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Can I hijack your computer real quick to ask you some more nasty questions?
Of course.
Okay. So let me get to. Let's see how nasty I can get. Hold on, we don't want to record this one. So I want to go here. It's not that nasty. I want to search for SSO and talk to you about it. And actually, I would say I should know that, but I don't. So I need this page to find out. There's a couple of solutions out there. These are your plugins, right?
Yeah.
So they are obviously installed in a couple of hundred instances already, and people seem to be satisfied with this solution, which it's difficult for me to understand, but I would assume that I could at least tell someone else what you need to do. So you need to install your JIRA, install your plugin, configure that one page, have that one command be integrated or executed on the Active Directory. Beforehand, I would create a user in the Active Directory and make the password not expire, and then I would head back to JIRA and create the same user so that it could log in, grant login rights, watch that page with the, hopefully have a lot of checkboxes already and kick the others out. And what about the others? What about Easy SSO? Is that the same? It's just like, what's the difference? Do you know that? Do you watch your competitors there? What's the difference? And I think this is something that customers ask themselves, right? They make what I'm doing, SSO, and then
The main difference, as I see it, as a system administrator, which upgrades JIRA, Confluence, Bamboo, Fisheye, Crucible all the time, is that I only have to upgrade the application. I don't have to do any changes to the files on the file system. So the plugin is persistent through upgrades. You only sometimes have to press upgrade to be compliant with the latest version. But that's the only thing that you have to do with our plugin.
Yeah, so it's hassle-free when it comes to JIRA, Confluence, and all the other products come with updates. I do these updates for the other plugins. I'll have to redo the whole procedure all the time, or
new versions of JIRA and Confluence, etc., are tested extensively. Users are end users or sysadmins are. It's safe to use our plugin. It's supported.
Our experience is that we can get some support requests for getting the Active Directory environment configured properly, and we are working on improvements in our plugin to make that even easier than it is today. But I don't think we have had any support cases from people who have gotten to production. When Kerberos and our plugin is in production, it's very hard to break it.
Do you have this discussion with customers a lot, that they have, like, for example, this plugin or others, and they compare it and they have a hard time to
actually, that's
what the
quite
difference
an
is?
interesting question, because we have never discussed the customers with
so they don't ask
no,
this
we
question
haven't
too?
we haven't discussed other vendors with our customers.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's quite clear what our plugin does and what the vendors does. We have maybe a little bit too little documentation, but we only have one page, very simple. The other vendors have extensively much more documentation.
So more need for documentation,
So
obviously.
they have a bigger need for documentation. So,
Yeah.
so that's our advantage.
The thing that we do is we try to, an important piece of our plugin is not just the product, but it's the support.
Yeah.
So we are really trying to give our customers quick feedback when they need our help. And we have developed tools and chat solutions where we can help them configure it, and we can help them communicate with their internal Active Directory teams such that their requests come through.
Some cases we
quicker.
do remote support.
Yeah, okay.
So what's the best way to contact you?
The first, the initial contact on email with as much as possible information, screenshots from the test pages. From there on, we either suggest a solution based on email, or if we need more information, we generate a one-time chat room, which we invite the customer to. And there we, in most cases, close the deal in 5 minutes.
Okay. What's the email address?
Our email address is, I think it's easier to just go to our marketplace listing and find it through the support.
Yeah, but we'll put it on the video.
Oh, it's atlassian.support@kantega.no.
Okay, awesome. Is there anything else that you want to... Let's get rid of this and rather pull this up. Is there anything else that we missed that you wanted to highlight? Any special features planned for tomorrow? Like, I don't know,
it's very...
log in my brain or...
It's very exciting to be here at AtlasCamp and to learn more about marketing and documentation and how to meet customers and how to make an even better product. So it's been great fun being here at AtlasCamp.
Thank you so much for sharing all this with us.
Thank you.
Let's see. If you have any questions, send them a support email, contact us. We'll try to find out how we can document this even more. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.